Yeah. Good morning, Giants. Have you ever wondered what it takes to manifest what you want in your life? Well, we're going to find out in this episode. Stay tuned.
Actually wondering that all day yesterday and this morning, and so this is perfect because I
Just
get
wondering.
yeah.
Yeah, I already forgot what we're talking about. Good morning from Arizona, Hugh Jacobson. We got some good people on this morning.
Yeah, we do.
I just
Stevie, and I'm an old man. I need to call you back today, but I threw out my back yesterday. I turned 40, and then things just started falling apart.
That's exactly how life goes. Yeah, in a way.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Well, we're going to talk about how to manifest. I'm curious about this word because we use it so openly, and I love to dive into what it means, what that word stems from, why do we use it, how do you do it, how do you manifest? Because I'm sure people have questions around that. Can we talk about the language of the word and what it means? I want to dive into the etymology of it. Love it. Yeah.
Perfect.
And I will get distracted by these comments. I love it. So please, comment as you have thoughts or insights. Please share them because we'll talk
If
about
I stop breathing, just because I'm in severe pain.
So let's look at the words. So when we use words, our goal is to create a metaphor for life and try to explain events and experiences with things. So the word manifest, the first part of the word man comes from the word mono, which is hand. And so it's the hand, right? So the first part of this word deals with your hand. The second part stems from the word of seizing, or it really, like, it can also be with the word infestation. So not that we want to create a
hand infestation.
Yeah, hand infestation. But it's seizing what you want. So it's making, here's some of the other words that are used around it. It's palpable, it's clear. It appears like in a ghost manifests itself. It can be used as documentation. So a ship has a manifest. It tells what it's carrying, right? There's even a TV show called Manifest. But that has nothing to do with any of this. But there is.
But it's still true.
But it is, yeah. So manifest, when I hear that word, I think of the law of attraction. I think of The Secret, and we throw this word around of what it means to manifest something. But reality is it's seizing with your hand the thing that you want. And so my view around manifestation, hey, there's Ryan Morris. Check that out. Good morning, Ryan. Glad to have you on.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Squirrel. So thinking of it in the terms of creating something from nothing, manifesting, or having what you want in your mind appear in your world. And I'm curious, so as you hear that, Ryan, what comes to mind for you?
Well, I've used, like in the past, I don't think I used it extremely well, but I've manifested a great deal of things over the years.
Yeah.
I'm still learning like the ins and outs of how to do it, but even having a basic understanding of manifestation, law of attraction, things like that, I've over time I've been able to pull certain things into my space, but I'm still learning about this stuff as well, like feel the feeling behind it and how to create based on the feeling. I'm not just putting out, I want, new car, boom, hey, new car.
Right.
Being more specific so that you can go out and create and the universe can provide.
Well, so I think the first step in manifesting is getting really clear on what it is you're creating. And so when you have that visual, and you can use all of your senses to create that. So your emotions, your touch, taste, smell, sight, you can palpably feel the existence of this thing that you're creating. Now, that doesn't mean it just appears, because the vital step now is the action and the planting of that seed. So it's one thing to just have the thought, it would be nice to have this thing. I would like to have that thing. But it's a whole other animal when you plant the seed and then you nurture that all the way through to the creation. And I think what people want to get into is, I want to know not only what the thing is that I'm creating, but they want to know the clear path for it. Like, they want to know, okay, what steps next, and what steps after that, and what steps there. When I went snowshoeing yesterday, we looked at these trees and these branches. If that tree were planted as a seed and you had to predict what it would look like at the end of it when it's a full creation, there's no way you could do it, because that tree is going to grow in the way it needs to. At the end of it, you would see that tree and you would say, okay, that's that type of tree. That's a conifer. That's a oak. That's a birch. And we know by its appearance on the exterior, when it's complete, what it's going to look like. But to describe how each branch is going to show up in the world before it ever is a creation is really challenging to do. That's where the path is uncertain until we step. And so we have to step into the uncertainty. So intention, this is where intention comes in. Like, you got to stretch toward. The word intention comes from intendere, which is tendons in the body. We use metaphors like that to understand what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. So when we intend towards something, we're stretching toward it. We're reaching toward that dream. If you have a dream and you're not reaching toward it and going into the darkness a little bit, the uncertainty, that's all you have is a dream.
My back was reaching the other day. It's just stretching.
Yeah.
It was trying to move faster than I could.
Yeah. I like this, giving thanks for receiving instead of asking with hope. I'd probably want some clarity around that, Hugh. So as you go into your comments, maybe go into a little more detail of what you mean with that, because I'm not, right off the bat, I don't fully get the message, but I'd love to hear more. So please share on that. So to stretch towards something, when you have an intention, you're stretching toward things, but it's all about that action. Like, Ryan, anything that you manifested that became palpable, that you seized with your hand, you took that dream and you made it a reality. Did you just sit on your butt and it just appeared magically?
No, there was the movement, the action that behind it. I didn't know how it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And didn't necessarily care as long as it did happen.
Yeah.
And I knew it would happen. I've seen other people get what they want, do the same thing. So I knew that it was possible. So,
okay. So let me ask you this. So if you've ever had a dream that you're like, this is what I want, and then you're going along the lines and something else is created, and it's never that thing, but something else was created. Have you had that happen, where that other thing actually turned out better than what you had in mind?
100%. This is a great example of that very thing, because I thought I wanted to do something completely different. In fact, you and I had coaching calls around it and talks, a lot of talks at work and walks up the hill.
Yeah.
Just talking about what I thought I wanted to do. And so then I started moving forward and chasing after that, and other things came in into that space.
Maybe this is becoming cliche, but I consistently say that we couldn't have envisioned that what we created here when we began. But we needed that vision of what we had in mind to get to this point. The pathway appeared as we stepped into it. And man, some amazing things happened. Like, that's what occurs when you have a vision and a dream. As you step onto the path, you might realize, wow, the thing I thought I wanted, I really didn't want at all. And the thing that I have turned out to be excellent for me. but none of it would have occurred had you not stepped onto that path. It's that branching of the tree. It's like you don't know the fingerprint of that tree when it begins. To predict that out and say this is exactly what it's going to look like, you look at your fingerprint. See if you guys could scan that. If I were a baby, yeah, it's all smudged. If I were a baby and you're like, I'm gonna, or a cell, right? And you're like, I'm gonna predict Nick's fingerprint and what he looks like perfectly from a cell, you wouldn't be able to do it. But looking back, I look different now than I did when I was 18. So if you were to predict what is Nick going to look like when he's 50, which I'm pretty close to that door. Yeah, vintage. He's going to look pretty vintage.
Vintagey.
Yeah, having the faith that I will receive what I need instead of asking for what I want. I like that because, man, it's our goal is to really try and get clear enough that we can create what we want, right? But then inside of that comes what we need. It's kind of a paradox. But so
you talked about that a little bit last night about the getting specific in planting the seed.
Yeah.
Sometimes like I had it in my head that like, look, I do certain things that you go plant a corn seed or a carrot seed, you're going to get carrots or corn or something like that. So I was thinking very linearly.
Yeah.
I guess that's the right word. About planting my hopes and dreams and things like that. But the truth is that seed can be whatever I want it to be.
Well, so
it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
You go into that a little bit because you kind of opened my eyes.
It's not my original thought. It's from my friend Janae. It's this thought that the seed can be anything. I even wrote a book called Sowing Seeds that says what you plant, you'll sow. What you sow, you'll reap. Right. And it's that linear thinking like we do as humans is I'm going to plant this seed. And if I plant a tomato seed, I'm going to get tomatoes. If I plant a palm tree, I'm going to get palm seed, I'm going to get palm tree. Or an olive seed, I'll get an olive tree. It's never a mango tree or anything else linearly. But when it comes to creation, the seed that we plant could sprout as anything that we want. Anything. So when we decide this seed that I'm going to plant, and this is from her idea, and I love this concept, when we plant that seed, we could say, I want this tree to not only produce mangoes and coconut, but maybe also apples or something else. Like this is going to be a phenomenal tree that will produce anything that I want. But it goes back to the gardening, right? Like planting that seed is the first step. Like having the vision of what you're creating is the first step. How it's going to come about is so unknown that your job is to trust your intuitions as they come and to stretch toward it. Like the tree stretches toward its full creation. And so it's really, I want to tackle this. God's will, not mine. Some people don't believe in God. Some people believe in a universe. Some people don't believe in a universe. Some people are atheists. Some people do believe in God. So I think it's a combination of your will and what will be, right? Whether that's from God or the universe or wherever it comes from, there is a requirement for us to push through, to ask for the things that we want. And so to leave it blatantly open to say, I didn't want to do anything because I just trusted you to just give me everything. I don't think that's the intention behind manifesting. Manifesting is more of this is what I want to seize from the universe and create from the universe. And I'm going to show the actions that get me there, even though I don't know how those actions are going to turn out. I'm willing to step into the unknown, the uncertainty to create that thing, whatever that looks like in the end.
And that's where the growth is as well, is stepping into that action.
Yeah.
And the unknown.
Yeah. That's the trusting, right? Yeah.
Trusting and pushing through. Yep. Because there is the unknown. There is the you have to have the faith and move through it. The good things will be on the other side. Sometimes there's hard things or bad things that you're you're stepping through.
Yeah.
But that's where the growth can occur.
Yeah. If you look
Life
at it,
happens, right? We talked about that the other day. You get
yep,
lifed sometimes. We
you
use
do
that
get
as a
life.
it's like
Yeah.
an action verb or something, like you're running,
Yeah. Yeah. I think it
or
is. Yeah,
something.
it is.
Are you
Oh
running
man,
through?
I just got life. Ryan just got
Yeah.
lifed with his back.
Yeah.
Well, so let's wrap it up there and leave it open to comments here because like Hugh has some views on it. Lori Parks is going to have different views on it. Jen Walter is going to have some different views on it. But here's the thing is that when we come to the table, this is what I love from Steve Hardison. Let's imagine you're at a buffet and you come to the buffet and there's all these options in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And he used the example of sardines. Like you don't love sardines, but they're on the buffet. Well, don't throw out the whole buffet because there's sardines on the buffet, right? Skip past them and go get the other good stuff. And so as we look at manifestation, we're going to have all these differing views that come up, and some of them might not resonate with you. And so if you're looking at it and you're like, I hate that idea, I don't believe in that idea, and you throw out everything because of that idea, well, you just missed out on the whole buffet. Mm-hmm. And so when it comes to manifestation, we think linearly, like there's got to be one way to manifest.
And Jen says sardines are good on sourdough toast. Perfect. That works.
Can we want something without already knowing what it is? I'm going to have you answer your own questions here. And so when questions become rhetorical, I want you to answer what you're asking for you, you know? So I'll think of that for me and how that might apply to me. But there are some cases where it doesn't. And so like sardines, but remember that just look at what you're creating. Look at the options that are available. There's not just one path for manifesting. There seems to be a flow for it. Plant the seed, take the action, trust the outcome, whatever it looks like in the end.
Yeah, the more specific and the more feeling you can feel into that.
Yeah.
You get to decide. That's the cool part about all this.
And I love this, Lori. I don't comment much because I love to listen to you. I like to soak it all in, learning. You know what? That's what I do in a conversation in most cases. This is my chance to verbally vomit on you guys. But in most cases, if I'm listening, if I'm in a conversation, I'm trying to anchor that information in and really see what aligns for me and what doesn't. So that's what we're saying here is take what works for you and apply that. And what doesn't, move it out of the way for you so that you can move forward. That's the goal. Take that intention and that action. Ryan, additional thoughts?
Make it a giant day, everybody.
Okay, cool. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next episode.